And the reason we're leading in the polls is this country has had enough of a failing, gutless political class. It wants real change.
Tense exchange. Nigel Farage challenges Keir Starmer in Parliament. Sparks fly over leadership and policy. You're not going to believe what just happened in the House of Commons. It was one of those moments that stops everyone in their tracks, cameras rolling, MPs shifting uncomfortably, and the entire chamber holding its breath. Nigel Farage, the political firebrand who never shies away from a fight, confronted Prime Minister Keir Starmer during a heated parliamentary session, and it got intense. This wasn't just another policy debate or polite disagreement, this was Farage doing what he does best, taking aim at the establishment, right in the middle of its own home turf. And the reaction was explosive. So here's how it all unfolded. It started with a question, one that wasn't even supposed to be that controversial. The discussion was on immigration, economic recovery, and Britain's post-Brexit direction. The atmosphere was already tense. Labour benches were buzzing. Starmer, standing firm at the dispatch box, was in his usual composed form, direct, lawyerly, and careful with every word. Then, Farage stood. And the room changed. He began by acknowledging Starmer's position, but what came next had MPs murmuring in disbelief. "Sir Keir," Farage said, "you've had over a year to show Britain what real leadership looks like. Yet what people see is rising taxes, wavering immigration policy, and a government that listens more to Brussels than to Birmingham." The comment hit like a thunderclap. Some MPs shouted. Others laughed. Starmer paused stone-faced before firing back. "Mr. Farage, this country has moved on from the politics of outrage. We're building stability, not spectacle." The room erupted. Even veteran political reporters later said it felt like a throwback to the high-drama Brexit days, that electric energy when Farage and Westminster seemed to orbit each other in constant collision. Now, let's be clear, Farage's appearance in Parliament wasn't official business. It was symbolic, but the symbolism was powerful. He's been edging his way back into mainstream politics, slowly but surely, capitalizing on discontent with both major parties. His Reform UK movement has been gaining traction among voters frustrated by what they see as broken promises on everything from the economy to border control. And this public exchange with Starmer? That's exactly the kind of high-visibility moment Farage thrives on. As one political analyst told The Times, Farage doesn't need a seat in Parliament to dominate the debate. All he needs is a camera and a confrontation. But let's talk about what was really behind that fiery exchange. Starmer has been trying to cement his image as the steady hand Britain needs after years of turbulence, positioning himself as calm, predictable, and competent. But critics, including Farage, argue that his leadership has been too cautious, too technocratic, and out of touch with working-class concerns. So when Farage challenged him directly, it was more than theatre, it was a calculated strike at Starmer's political brand. Farage accused Labour of talking about fairness while taxing small businesses to the brink, and warned that ordinary people are being priced out of their own country. That last line drew gasps. Starmer countered firmly. "We're rebuilding the economy from the bottom up. That means fairness for workers, not favors for opportunists." It was measured. It was calm. But it was also a jab, and the audience felt it. Within minutes, clips of the exchange were all over social media. Twitter, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, every platform lit up. One post read, "Farage just humiliated Starmer, he said what everyone's thinking." Another hit back, "Farage is all noise and no policy. Starmer handled him like a professional." The debate spread like wildfire. On talk radio shows, callers couldn't stop arguing about it. One woman said, "Finally someone's calling out the government's failures." Another shot back, "We've had years of division. Starmer's trying to fix the mess, not fuel it." That's the Farage effect. Love him or hate him, he makes people talk. Behind the scenes, Labour strategists reportedly weren't thrilled about the confrontation. One insider told a journalist off-record, "We don't want to elevate Farage. The more attention he gets, the more he grows." And they're right. Farage knows the media game better than most. Every viral clip feeds his narrative that the establishment fears him. For Starmer, the challenge is different: how to engage without inflaming. He can't ignore Farage forever, especially as Reform UK's polling inches upward, But he also can't afford to get dragged into what one Labour MP called a circus of populism. So far, Starmer's sticking to his script: focus on delivery, stay professional, rise above. But moments like this test that resolve. And here's where things get interesting. Farage's presence continues to shape the political weather. Every time he steps into the national conversation, it forces the government and the opposition to react. Economists debate his claims. TV pundits dissect his motives. And ordinary Britons, struggling with high rents and energy bills, tune in to see who's actually listening to them. It's not about who's right, it's about who's real. And that's the space Farage loves to occupy: the outsider shouting from the sidelines, while insiders squirm under the spotlight. By the next morning, newspapers had splashed the story across their front pages. Farage versus Starmer, clash in the Commons, read one headline. Another went with, old rivalries, new stakes. Columnists called it political theater, but even they admitted it worked. Farage got what he wanted: attention, relevance, and a viral clip that reignited his populist brand. Starmer got what he needed too: a chance to show composure under pressure, to prove he could face confrontation and stay in control. Both walked away with something. But only one walked away smiling. So where does this leave things? Farage isn't done. Not by a long shot. Insiders say he's planning more high-profile appearances, especially as local elections draw closer. He knows the mood of the country is restless, that people are still waiting for someone to make politics feel honest again. As for Starmer, he'll have to walk a fine line. Too soft, and he looks weak. Too harsh, and he risks feeding Farage's narrative. Either way, this exchange won't be forgotten anytime soon. Because in that brief, fiery moment in Parliament, the clash between establishment calm and populist fire reminded Britain of a truth it keeps learning the hard way. Politics isn't just about policy. It's about performance.